This is Total Babble. Total Babble. It's a show about music, pop culture, social media, movies, the internet, relationships, TV, whatever. Total Babble. The Total Babble Podcast.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch old witch, the wicked witch. Maybe that's disrespectful. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Because I don't even know if Emily has heard the news.
Of Lindsey Graham's passing?
Yeah, you did hear it. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not being insensitive. It's just that Lindsey Graham died, and he really is a horrible person. We're better off without him. He said terrible things about people, and I'm pretty happy that he's gone. Here's a direct quote. "We're killing all the right people, and we're cutting your taxes."
Fascinating.
That's Lindsey Graham.
I thought about you this morning.
When he died?
I heard when he died. Yeah, exactly. And I thought, this is amazing for Stu, because this is like going to a restaurant and ordering a dessert and then they bring you the wrong one. Because last time we talked, you were talking about how great it would be if Mitch McConnell was dead.
Yeah.
But instead, the restaurant has bought you Lindsey Graham. And because you do like to complain, what's going to end up happening is you're going to get both desserts out of this.
It's a 2-for-1.
It's a twofer.
We might even have 2 desserts right now. We just don't know it. The other dessert is sitting right there. They just haven't brought it out to us yet. That could be also.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And anybody on the right side right now is thinking I'm a horrible person. Maybe sensitive people on the left are thinking I'm a horrible person. But I just am not going to disguise the fact that terrible people don't need to be impacting our lives as they do. And situation reversed when Joe Biden dies, those people are going to be dancing in the streets, waving their goddamn flags, and that's the way that's going to go. So I don't feel bad about it whatsoever. She is the healthy, good one. I am the court jester asshole that is a little bit caustic. So that's the way it's going to go.
Do you know who I'm enjoying at the moment? Best comeback story ever, and who's winning the internet? Hunter Biden.
There's a lot going on with him lately, just getting his little digs in. And yes, I was put through all this, and anytime he sees something, he's going to go with it there.
He's going to go with it. Yeah, and I love how he's just owned what a hot mess he was, and he's out there doing interviews with anybody who wants to talk to him, and it's pretty interesting. I have a lot of respect for the guy. He was an absolute shitbag, but I think he was treated a little bit unfairly.
Totally.
To borrow some words from Lord Emperor Trump, was treated so unfairly, but I really think that he was.
Felt like a witch hunt with Hunter Biden.
Yeah, quite.
Yeah,
and some of it was just complete fantasy. But I think he's having his moment in the sun, and I'm really happy about it for him.
I have respect for anybody that says, geez, I was a shitbag and I'm coming back from it, and I was a drug addict and doing bad things and I'm coming back from it, and I'm totally with you. And it's not just left, right. If there were somebody on the right that made that decision and decided not to be a terrible person, I would support them too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Last week's show had some kind words I wanted to mention. John always has good things to say to us. Thank you as always, John.
Hi, John. Thanks for listening.
Got a note from Horse Pucky. He let me know that Kate Bush is in fact God. So that's good to know. Writing that down. We questioned it last week. He's an atheist, but totally willing to go with it. And if there is a God, it's Kate Bush. You can say voice of an angel, but that's kind of cliche and it doesn't really cover it. So voice of God, that's fine. And also somebody whose name I won't mention, we'll just call him Gene Yuss. First name Gene, last name Yuss. Had this in my texts, and it leads to a little bit of discussion. I was talking to somebody about those corporate training modules that you have to take online, and they make you take them to cover their own ass, and they're needless and pointless and terrible. And his comment on those sexual harassment videos was, please get some hotter people. I think this is brilliant for those training modules. It adds a sense of realism. You know, you watch those and it's like, okay, they have two schlubs in there. And I'm not saying female or male, I'm saying schlubs of any gender. And it's not very believable. And if you have hot people in there, male and female, now you have my attention. Now, before I was just pushing the buttons to try to get through this thing, now I'm actually learning because you have included the hot people. It adds some authenticity to the terrible modules that we all hate. I will pay attention. I will believe it. I am with you. So I think if you make sure you have hot men, hot women getting harassed, it could go both ways. Your thoughts?
Interesting. I want to quote one of my sons from this week.
All right.
Behind every sign, there is a story, and behind every training module, there's a story. Okay, so, and he said this whilst he was filling up tiki torches. There's a big sign that says, "Do not drink liquid."
Of course he was.
And he's like, behind every sign, there's a story. He's like, who drank this to make this sign come here? But the exact same thing is true of all of those training modules. My general opinion on sexual harassment specifically is it doesn't matter what the other person looks like, because in my experience, a man will fuck anything that moves, and if it's not moving, he'll kick it to make sure it's not going to move, if the opportunity is given. And I say this from running nearly 25 years of large corporate conferences all around the world, lots of alcohol, working in organizations with literally hundreds of thousands of employees, and at one time being responsible for entire HR departments. Those videos exist for a reason.
Agree.
And yes, you might watch them and pay more attention if the people were hotter, but...
And isn't that the goal, as I interrupt? That's the goal, right?
Yeah, the goal is the outcome of less sexual harassment.
Which, if I'm paying attention, that's going to lead to that, ideally.
Yeah, but ultimately, and this is going to sound very jaded, all of those videos, all of the disclaimers, everything that you sign is just a legal trail that exists. So when you inevitably do the stupid thing, you don't have a legally defensible point where you can say, oh, I didn't know. And so it's just easier for them to fire you.
Yeah, it's corporate ass covering.
100%. It is corporate ass covering. And so it doesn't matter if they got hand puppets to do it.
If they did hand puppets, I would watch it even more.
Yeah, could you order, little hand puppets, like just little socks, like gym sock and office sock.
Punch and Booty. That would be the name of them in the video, Punch and Booty.
I'd watch that. Does one get a stick?
Oh, he gets a stick.
He's trying to give the stick to her.
There you go.
Boom, tish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then there'd have to be something so that it goes the other direction, because men can be sexually harassed too. There'd have to be something worked out between the puppets, and she'd have to be in a supervisor role, and he would have to be a lowly worker, and they'd have to kind of have some of that going on too, you know?
Men can absolutely be sexually harassed.
Yeah.
Yes. It's less common. And even when it happens, it's often by other men. But it does happen.
Kind of agreeing, but I would also put out there just in general, and I agree with what you're saying, anybody can be sexually harassed, but who do you think is more sexually harassed? Usually the attractive people of either gender.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And it depends on what the sexual harassment is.
I would love to live in a world where people didn't worry about a joke. Like, is that really something that needs to be upsetting to people? I'm not grabbing you by the ass. I'm telling a joke. And argue with me if you want.
I think that some people should be worried about me and my jokes, because some of the things that I find funny are borderline evil. Yeah. And so some people should be worried about the jokes. Like the jokes that my husband and I make to one another, we will often say things like, "Oh my God, aren't you so glad that nobody else is reading our text messages?" Because it's fucked up. Like, it is really bad. But I agree with what you're saying, generally speaking, which is, you know your audience, and in public, most people will make jokes that are relatively above board. And I think that being offended is a choice.
Absolutely.
You choose how far you want to take anything. And at every juncture, we have a moment where we can choose to brush it off, or we can choose to make a big deal about it. I think that goes for everything, jokes included.
Yeah. We live in a society that supposedly has freedom of speech. And if that's the case, then do we enable policies that limit that freedom of speech? To me, perfect world, there's no policies, freedom of speech. You say whatever you want on TV, on the radio, in podcast, in the office. And we have a very general liberal policy that if you screw up, you get fired. Everybody has a social norm of what that line should be. And if you step over that line, you get fired. And if you didn't know that line, then you're not right for the job anyway.
Yeah. Also, again, being, advocating for the devil, as you say, every company also decides how bent out of shape they want to get over something.
Right.
Not every company will equally apply how they feel about something. Sometimes they will not look a gift horse in the mouth and choose to get really upset about an infraction by someone so that they have a reason to fire them.
It's an excuse and they can go with that. And yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they may not have fired somebody else for doing exactly the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So the answer is yes, we need hotter people in training modules.
Yes.
All right.
Or more interesting, funnier things. I think that the scenarios or sock puppets, I think that it should just generally be more engaging. I would watch them more intently if they were just really over the top, like telenovela Days of Our Lives, like fast shots, directly looking down the camera, shock, oh, just stupid. I think it would be better if they really hammed it up.
Yeah, ham it up with sock puppets, or at least give us somebody that's hot and attractive.
Yeah. Okay. I know we're going to talk about this later in the show, but talking about people who are not necessarily ugly, but not conventionally attractive, that guy in The Bear, the Jeremy, whatever his name is.
People really like that guy. He did underwear modeling and women lost their mind, right?
Sorry, can't relate, was not aware, but I do know that some people are into him.
Jeremy Allen White or something?
Jeremy Allen White?
Yeah,
yes.
I think that's his name.
He has no chin. The man has an incredibly weak chin. He's a weak-chinned man. He's a great actor.
Yeah, very much so. He did a very good Springsteen, too. I watched part of that.
Oh,
and
I
he was very
haven't seen
believable. It's good. I mean, if you're a little bit of a Springsteen fan, you'll be okay, which I'm a little bit of a fan. He was good at it, and he does have a unique look, and he did, I think it was Calvin Klein or some kind of underwear, and women were just all soupy over that guy. And it's like, guy looking in, I know what the traditional good-looking man is, I think, and he wasn't it. But okay, go with what you're going to go with. And I don't know that there is a female equivalent. Dudes are very base, and usually the woman that one guy thinks is hot, we all think is hot.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think that had he have not already been a famous actor, he would not have gotten that campaign.
True.
I think that's the only reason. He entered the collective consciousness as hot, but if he was just plucked on the street, he's no Marky Mark. Let me put it that way.
Except that I remember seeing a shot of the ad, and I think he got into really good shape to do it, and he was believable. So I think he got it because he was an actor, but I think once he was in there, it worked for people, obviously.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But he would have never gotten a call to get his gear off if he wasn't already famous.
True. On the subject of The Bear, the latest season is out. Have you seen it?
You know I've watched every single fucking episode.
I don't. I know you've watched every single episode up until now, but you've watched all of it, so we can talk.
I watched all of it.
Let's talk then. This is some of the best TV ever, but we'll get into the but. Wonderful writing on this show. The acting is incredible on this show. Everybody is great. Io Edebri is beyond incredible. She's just like the best actress, completely believable in everything.
She's great.
Writing is unique. The entire season of this is basically one night in the restaurant. And you hear that and you think, wow, that's going to be boring. How are they going to make that intriguing and entertaining? Every little thing that they do is enthralling and you're focused on it and you're just like, how is this so good? And there's so many touching, cool human moments that make you feel like not everyone on the planet sucks and people can work together and be good to each other. And it's really heartwarming. And then you get to the end and really nothing is resolved. Things have changed, but they don't really tell you where things have gone. They don't give you a lot of resolution. And I was bummed by that. But then I was especially bummed by that when I found out it's not just the end of the season, it's the end of the series. They just ended the series that way.
They did.
WT fuck.
I felt like it was more resolved than you did.
The one guy's going off to Japan. Carmi is going to be an intern or something.
Wait a minute. You're going against your own rules. Hey, guys, massive fucking spoilers. If you haven't watched this,
I said we're going to talk about it. I thought that was implied. I'm sorry.
Okay, but sometimes we'll say things like we're not going to give anything away.
Right.
But you're out here. No, I know that you didn't see that, but it's not necessarily implied. And so, guys, massive spoilers coming. Okay,
sorry.
Speak freely.
If I screwed anybody, sorry on that. So, yeah, I mean, what was resolved there? It was kind of resolved that she, the best one on the show, is going to maintain and run her own restaurant, and people got promotions and that kind of thing. But two of the big main characters were kind of left hanging, and I feel like they said, no, this is the last one, when really it's not going to be the last one, and maybe they wanted to allow for that, and if not, dumb ending, kind of.
In parts, I felt like the series it was going a little bit too slow for my liking, but I felt like the ending really set the stage for us to imagine a real transition point. So for me, I felt like it was okay leaving it open-ended because we got a glimpse into a potential new relationship with Richie as he's getting on the plane. We got the sense that Carmi is exploring his options. Sid's going to stay with the restaurant. And for me, I'm happy for it to be the end, because if it wasn't, we'd be coming to a restaurant that's it would be completely different. You know, they're up against the wall. The whole place is falling down around them. They're trying to get through essentially bankruptcy, right? And then the final thing is that they get awarded not 1, but 2 Michelin stars. And when that happens, it will completely change everything. You know, the whole, if we go all the way back to when they transitioned and started the Bear, and when Carmi and Sid first started talking to each other, and they involved everyone in the restaurant, it's like, we're going to go for it. Do you remember that? Like a few seasons ago?
Yeah.
They decided, because that was the goal, for me, I felt a sense of resolution.
Well, and a couple things. At that moment when they got the stars, some of the best acting ever, really great TV. And I guess you're saying you're satisfied by the fact that they're just going to do normal things, but to me, there's no resolution in that. And when you resolve a TV show and that's the end of it, I like resolution, and I like knowing that those people are good and happy, or the people I dislike, not good and happy. And I like knowing what the outcome was. A great movie, that worst movie ever, Lost in Translation. You ever see that?
I have, but I can't remember the
I mean,
ending.
Basically, they tell you nothing at the end. It's this romance and this thing that you're thinking is going to go somewhere with what's her name that I can't remember her name now.
Scarlett Johansson?
Scarlett you say Johansson?
Yes.
All right. If you wish. And she's almost like a dream girl. It was before she became famous, and Bill Murray, and there's this great chemistry. And then you get to the end and she whispers something in his ear and they never tell you what that is. And then it just ends. And to me, that's kind of what like part of this was.
Yes, I'm undisturbed by the ambiguity because it feels, to me, it just feels more real. Like they're continuing on with their lives.
Like maybe Carmi goes off and becomes an underwear model. We don't know.
We don't know.
But we would like to.
I find it very unlikely that he's going to end up at that fucking architectural firm that he was badly interviewing for.
Yeah, that was a really bad interview.
That was so bad.
I was watching that going, wow, I've been a part of some bad interviews on both sides, and that was a really bad interview.
In my mind, and the whole time, so my husband and I are watching it, and I'm trying to predict what this motherfucker wants to do next.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm like, he's going to write a cookbook. He's going to write a book. Then he's talking about how he loves to draw. And I'm like, yep, that's it. It's an architectural firm. And I was so distracted by how bad the art was inside that building.
No, I didn't notice that.
I was struggling. I really hated the art style of that entire building. I didn't like it. So it was upsetting to me.
And during where she's interviewing him and he's completely screwing up, I felt like, here's a criticism of the writing, I felt like she was way too open to that and being way too nice about that and the fact that he was kind of screwing this up. I don't think she should have berated him, but I thought she was just like, oh, well, that makes no sense. Okay, well, let's talk about this, you know?
Did you think it wasn't realistic or you just didn't like the character?
Yeah, I didn't think it was realistic. I don't think anybody would have been that amiable about it. I feel like they would have just kind of dismissed it and like, okay, we're going to move on. We'll let you know if anything's available. That's the way I felt like it would have gone.
Well, we didn't see the end of the interview, though.
I know, because they left us hanging.
Yeah, but she did interrupt it. She's like, well, that's great, but what I was hoping that you would answer is how about this architectural firm? And that's how we discovered it. So she was trying to course correct him.
Yeah.
At one point, and I was like, yeah, that feels pretty realistic. But I think she could probably also tell that he was, she's doing a favor, by the way. Remember, the only reason he got in there was because that guy set it up for him.
Okay, valid point. I wasn't remembering that necessarily.
But yeah, I don't know. It was good. I liked it better than last season. Last season was just a little bit too artsy-fartsy for me.
Last season and the one before I was not that into, but I watched this. The entire thing felt great until I got to the end. And then it was still good. It just didn't resolve at all the way I wanted it to. Anyway, here's a question too. That interview, if somebody says to you during an interview, I'm very nervous, how do you take that?
They are very nervous.
Okay. Do you think that maybe that lends to them not being qualified for the job? Do you think it lends to them just being an honest person? And maybe that's good that they're saying that? How do you answer that? Because I've interviewed people and I said, okay, if somebody said that to me, how would I react? And I'm not quite sure.
Well, I've interviewed probably thousands of people for jobs. I'm not even joking. And I am an intimidating person. And so I've been told, oh, I'm so nervous on more than one occasion. In interviews, in general work and that kind of stuff, sometimes people say all sorts of weird shit in interviews. I don't think that it speaks to whether or not they are qualified for the job.
Because I don't think it is, but I think some people might think that that's a sign of weakness if they say that.
In my experience, some of the highest performers have the lowest self-esteem.
And do you want that person working for you? Does that create its own problems? Because then you have to watch out for that self-esteem and feed it and, maybe you do.
Do you? I don't know.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, but do I want high-performing people who have self-esteem issues working for me? Absolutely. because they will work harder. They are harder on themselves than anybody else, and they're the profile of a professional athlete. So they are more likely to be the best and work the hardest and be self-starters and be self-critical and course correct. Way better than some overconfident fuckhead who will willy-nilly, like who thinks they're too good for the job or who thinks that they're perfect for the job. They'll make mistakes but not even realize that they've made a mistake, aren't open to feedback, aren't open to self-improvement. I will take the highly competent, low self-esteem person any day of the week.
I agree.
If I had to choose between two people.
Like the first time I met with you online and we were talking about doing the show, it almost felt like a job interview. And I'm like, whoa, she's asking a lot of questions. What's that about? What was your perception of me when we did that?
I genuinely can't remember.
Well, apparently I made an impression.
No, it was just a transactional thing. And I delete a lot of that sort of stuff from my memory.
It actually made me feel good because you were asking a lot of questions and they were the right questions.
Good. Well, I like to be well informed and I like to make decisions around things. I want to be mindful about stuff. I also don't want to inherit other people's problems. You know, you've only got a couple of choices in this life. And your most valuable commodity is time. And so you should be very mindful about how you spend your time and who you spend it with. And so if I got the sense that you were just fucking around and going to waste my time, not in a fun way, by the way, because I think we fuck around and waste each other's time in a really fun way. And I think that that's great. But I think it's important to find somebody who has a similar work ethic to you. And I think that is what I was looking for.
That is very true. We do have a similar go at it kind of way and like focus. And okay.
Yeah.
Aside from Lindsey Graham, here's some more good news. The Fourth Amendment is still barely alive. Here's
this is
story.
Good news.
Yeah, the Fourth Amendment still kind of alive. It's been in question a lot lately.
Washington, D.C. will pay $50,000 to settle a lawsuit from a man who accused police of illegally detaining him for playing a song from Star Wars during a protest. Sam O'Hara was following an Ohio National Guard patrol while playing Darth Vader's Imperial March.
Remember that guy that was following around the National Guard with the Imperial March? He got detained, and it was you're not allowed to do that. You can't just stop somebody and detain them and be an asshole for playing music. So that is kind of being upheld here.
On his phone, O'Hara claimed that D.C. police violated his free speech while protesting against the federal law enforcement surge in D.C. last year. O'Hara's claims, meanwhile, against an Ohio National Guard sergeant are still pending.
And he was upset a little bit, saying that, okay, it's good that he got this judgment, but he would rather that it come from the officer's pay and not be taken out of the people's fund. He made that statement, which I like. And then they can still go after the National Guard, too. And that's all being figured out. And yeah, we're supposed to be free from illegal search and seizure in this country, and we haven't. And that's evident because another person got killed this week. I don't have his information in front of me, but it sucks that there's no video of it because I don't think without a video it's going to go anywhere and they're just going to question it. And like if Renee Good didn't have a video, they'd just blow it off, you know?
Absolutely. And anybody who thinks that we are immune to illegal search and seizure doesn't live here anymore, because that you absolutely are not anymore. They'll just do whatever they want. I think that is dead.
Because there's no accountability yet. Hopefully we'll get there, but there's no accountability for that.
We live in a world now where it's like video or it didn't happen. And it's horrific. You know, the burden of proof now rests with, is there video evidence and can you prove that it wasn't manipulated in any way or manipulated by AI? And it's incredibly complex and sad.
It seems insane to me that 30, 40 years ago, if that happened and you had a group of 10 people that said, I saw this happen, he did nothing, they shot him in the head, and this was terrible, that would be enough. We're not there anymore because they're only going to question everybody's political motives in court and make it look like, oh, they're just those lefties, and they're saying this to try to make us look bad. And it's okay, 10 people making that statement ought to be enough. Really, 1 or 2 should be, but for sure 10.
I mean, maybe. I do like having some evidence because think back to 60 years ago, we were fucking lynching people because a black man spoke to a white woman, and just on her husband's word, they were murdering people. But I do take your point. There has to be a happy medium somewhere. I mean, we still live in a world where the majority of sexual assault and rape cases are never see any justice because there's no evidence. And the little fingers, blip, blip.
Let's see, I have you cropped. I can't see her. Oh, she's doing the Labubu face. That's always enjoyable. All you kids that have Labubus, what you do is you listen to the show, and then when Emily talks, you just hold it up because that's her making that face. That's what that's like. So
I have never seen a Labubu. I couldn't pick one out in a lineup.
They have a weird teeth thing like you do, and it's good that you haven't seen them because now they're going away and they're dumb. We shouldn't have had any focus on them.
I don't know how they got famous. Things are strange.
Yeah, there's a new flavor of the week every week, and that's why they call it the flavor of the week, in fact.
I think you're onto something.
Can't put a lot past me.
Why is it called the flavor of the week?
Let me see, because it has a different flavor, and it happens weekly.
Is it still the soup du jour if it's the same every day?
Tell me, what do you make du jour out of? What do you put in your du jour?
Well, yeah, today I'm trying to ram in as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because it's the first day of the week, Stu.
No, tomorrow's the first day of the week. We're recording early, by the way. That's why Lindsey Graham just died.
Yeah, we are recording early. However, Sunday is the first day of the week.
No, it's not. It's Monday. Monday is the first day of the week. First work day. That's the day that matters.
Well, the first work day is Monday, but the first day of the calendar that we follow, Sunday, is actually the first day of the week. It is the actual first day of the week.
I don't know if this is true. Where's
Fact
my calendar?
check me.
Where's my, see, I click my calendar and it's not coming up. God damn it. And I'm not going to ask that Siri chick. She'll never do it. My desktop. Hang on. Now I'm going to the official app. This is worth learning.
Okay. So Sunday, yeah, look it up. However, Sunday
you're right.
is traditionally recognized as the first day of the week, which designates Saturday actually as the Sabbath. But you are also correct in the sense that Monday, for people who work, is the standard for the modern global workday. Although in many parts of the Middle East, Sunday is actually a work day.
Yeah, because they do religious stuff on Saturdays, right? Because that's the Sabbath, like you just said.
That's right. Well,
I am Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
But here, when it's just right-wing religious stuff in traditional Christianity, nothing happens on Sunday because that is allegedly the day of rest. If God was all-powerful and so bitchin', would he really have a need to rest? Oh, I'm God, I'm tired. Let me rest. Kind of dumb if you think about it.
Oh, God, I'm tired.
Yeah, but we're not God that we know of.
No, but
we're not Kate Bush.
It's a fair point. If there's someone was really just omnipotent and ever present, would they just ever need to rest? I don't think they would.
You just flick a finger, create universes. It wouldn't be tiring at all.
Pure energy.
Yeah.
Like the sun. Does the sun need to rest, Stu?
The sun never sweats. That's a Spinal Tap song.
If the sun never sweats and the sun never sleeps, then I think we can officially say Kate Bush never gets tired.
I love the big point when you smack your microphone stand.
Point bunked. I didn't actually hit it this time. I just clapped.
I heard. Okay, well, you hit something because I heard it.
Yeah, I hit my right hand against my left hand. You know, when you do it like multiple times in a row in quick succession, they call that clapping.
Oh, what about clapping with one hand?
Give them the clap.
She
That's
can
a
do it,
one-handed
kind of.
clap.
It's less effective, but you know.
Yeah, less effective. That's what it says on my business card.
All right, remember that UFO thing on HBO that I was talking about, that big special?
Yeah, you were really hot on that for a minute.
I think that was government propaganda now, looking back on it. I think that it was released at the time that it was released and put together at the time it was to cast our attention away, even though it was by a big filmmaker. Doesn't mean that he necessarily would be in on it. They could have hired him just to do it based on the timing, and that would all work out. And I think it is a red herring and a distraction produced to make us look over here, like we've talked about a bunch of times, because there's new stuff and we get this new stuff and it's like, oh, there's a weird film. There's a weird star object now, but we're not getting any of the good stuff. We're not getting anything that is unredacted. And the other thing that jumped out at me, even when watching that, is that Marco Rubio was in that movie video documentary saying, oh, yeah, this is all going on. Maybe even that stuff that we've seen is real, could be created bullshit too. But I think that is nothing more than a pacifying distraction. Look over here. Keys, keys, keys.
Look over here. Get distracted from the Epstein files.
Yep. Or the war or whatever's going on.
That was pre-war, wasn't it? Wasn't that the UFO freedom of information?
Yeah, it's a thing they were putting out around the time of the Epstein files. And probably with all these plans they had in place, they would know that they're going to need distraction. So, let's put this together ahead of time.
I think you might be onto something.
And unless we get something that says, oh, yeah, they're in Ohio at Hangar 51, we have the space aliens and they're living there and having a good time and giving us their secrets. Until that happens, I think I'm skeptical. I think the stuff is real. I just don't think we're seeing the real truth.
I also think that the government is just trying to desensitize the general population. So we're like frogs in the pot. Yeah,
you turn up the heat slow enough and then you don't feel it. But what would that accomplish? What heat is being turned up there?
I think the heat is an allegory for just the absolute fucking insanity of this administration. Like,
right.
Think about it. The laws of common decency just keep getting punted further and further down the road. Corruption and the level of corruption that will be tolerated just keeps getting punted further and further down the road. How much money was Hunter Biden supposed to get from some foreign government? Was it like $3 million or something?
Yeah, I don't even know.
I don't think that we are displaying similar levels of outrage around some of Donnie's kids and how much money they're getting from foreign governments. And I just think that the rules of common decency have changed. Just imagine what would happen if we picked up Bill Clinton and his entire presidency and just tacked it on and he was the next president of the United States and nothing was different. He still did not have sexual relations with that woman. Do you think he'd get impeached? No.
No. But yet Trump has this new 34-year-old that's walking around with him that is just like a religious cult member, stars in her eyes, just completely devoted to him, apparently, to the point that it's making staffers uncomfortable how freaky she is.
It's so fucking gross.
Yeah.
That is the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah.
I just imagine going and sitting in his lap and just hearing and smelling just the shit squishing around in his diaper.
Do you think she changes his diaper?
I don't know. Maybe she's into that.
It seems like she might be. And do you think there's a staff member in general that changes his diaper?
Yes.
Are we resolved he has a diaper?
Yes.
Okay. It seems like it. Because that's a big tub of shit back there. That's not normal.
And it wears a diaper.
Yeah. Well done. Do you know about this tennis player, Corentin Moutet?
I don't know if that's how they say their name.
I don't either.
Pray tell, what in the news?
He had a tennis match or something recently, and he was interviewed on BBC, and it was a little bit controversial. And I wonder if we say he's good for being fun and joking around, or do we say that he's kind of a trolly asshole for doing this?
Let's see.
142 mile an hour second serve. How tough is it to return that?
That's so frustrating. You know, when I had the match point, I was on the second serve. Okay, you aim in the middle. Whatever you do, you just put the ball in the court, and then he hates me 142. I was like, fuck, I would have to serve, and I would have to.
The crowd gasps.
No F-bombs, please.
Fuck.
No.
She backed him up there and said, no F-bombs, please. And can we stop calling it the F-bomb, really?
Fuck, I would have to serve, and I would have to.
No F-bombs, please.
Fuck.
No. Right, Corentin, I'm going to ask you one more question. Apologies, everyone, for the language there. I'm going
I have to apologize for words.
to ask you one more question, so please keep it clean, okay? You on the grass last week, unfortunately, didn't go your way. What's it like to get your first victory?
Fuck.
Okay. Corentin,
3 for
we need
3.
to improve that for the next round. Apologies, everyone. Corentin Moutet.
Now, there's a lot going on there. It's tennis, so it's kind of an uptight sport, at least as far as perception goes.
Yeah.
Was he being a dick? Was he being terrible? Or is it her fault for just letting him go with it? She seemed to know what she was going to get, maybe.
Okay, there's a couple of things happening right now.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I am listening to you, but something that just happened is my microphone the arm just broke. Fuck. My opinion on that is that he is actually being an asshole in that moment. I think he had an opportunity to gather himself, but I also think that sometimes, especially young guys, if they mess up, they will tend to get into a bit of a spiral and then like double down on it. And he's probably trying to make up the embarrassment by taking control of the situation.
Right.
When it first happened, he's nervous. He's just being honest. He's speaking like himself. He probably says fuck in his everyday life. And then when he has been corrected, he has had a bit of a brain explosion and said it a couple of times. And then she's made a spectacle out of him. And I think then he's like, I just want this to end. I am going to be the boss of this situation. And that's when I think he's turned into a bit of an asshole about it. I think I think that was dumb. And if I was coaching him, I would have been like, yeah, you got to put your fucking head in.
I agree with you. I don't take it as mean as you do. I took it as, yeah, initially he just slipped and then he's just like, fuck it, I'll just go with it. And I'd just joking along and being more trollish than mean and terrible is how I took it.
Yeah, I don't think he's being mean. Yeah, I don't think he's intentionally trying to upset anybody or do anything. But yeah, trolly is maybe a good way to say it. I'll agree with you on that.
And ultimately, I get back to why do we care? All the stuff in the world, why do we care about that? Come on.
Yeah, me personally, I don't. I mean, I missed it. Was that at Wimbledon? Must have been at Wimbledon.
I'm not big on sports, levels. As you know, so it was some BBC thing. What I had in my notes, BBC British Tennis Championship, BTC.
Well, Wimbledon is BB. On right now.
Yeah. Wimbledon is the place?
Correct.
Oh, look at me.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one place for sports. This is total babble.
Big tennis tournament. It's and the World Cup's on at the same time. So,
all right. Update on CBS. Everybody should be boycotting CBS, in my opinion, because of all the terrible things that they have done, firing people and taking over the world and becoming the Trump puppet network. 11% drop in total audience and a staggering 28% decline in the advertiser coveted demographic for the CBS show. Well, I guess this is talking about their news. So apparently people there are freaking out, and that's good. They should be. I'd like to remind everybody that the things that you want to have no part of are the CBS Skydance properties, Showtime, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, BET, MTV, CMT, Paramount Pictures, Paramount Plus, Paramount Sports, CBS, CBS News, CBS Sports. F them in their A's. I went with letters there. It felt a little bit more unique that way. I was being classy.
Yeah, okay. I see what you tried to do there. And thank you.
F them in their A's. And earlier you missed it. I said WT fuck.
I didn't miss it.
Okay.
Didn't comment on it.
All right. Funning along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I mentioned this, but yesterday was my eldest son's 13th birthday.
You did not. And I should have asked you at the beginning what you had going on because I normally do that. Do tell.
So, happy birthday to Big Brain Barry. And so a couple of fun things happened. One, I borrowed a commercial size and grade slushie making machine from one of my neighbors.
Of course you did.
Of course I did. I have so many fucking slushies in my kitchen right now. This thing is so massive. The kids were here from 4 o'clock in the afternoon till 10:30 at night, just smashing slushies like nobody's business. Half of them
Oh my
now.
God, that must have been a huge sugar rush.
It was. They went to the pool for like 2 hours. They could hear colors. It was amazing. They had a great time. It was crazy. But I thought, surely they'll get through it. Didn't even make a dent in these slushies. So now I have them all downstairs. But the party favors, if you will, were these insulated mugs. So I got all the kids insulated mugs so they could put their slushies in because it's hot as all get out here in the South. To personalize them, because I got them all the same one, I purchased stickers.
Okay.
So yesterday morning, I had to go through every single one of the stickers and remove any that were off the chain or a little bit spicy or downright fucking vile. Because could you imagine sending your kid to something and them coming back with a personalized insulated cup that says things on it like, fuck off.
I would enjoy that for me, but I know not everybody's like me.
Or WT fuck. Or this one was a little bit weird, and I wonder who designs these things, but it was a chili pepper with a human ass twerking, and it said neurospicy. I pulled that one out. Would you have left it in?
Neurospicy? Like
Neurospicy.
brain spicy?
Yeah, it's like what people say, I think, if they've got like ADHD or autism or something.
Wow.
There were a lot with jokes about suicide and removed those. One was fantastic. It says, live, laugh, toaster bath. Now, I have said that in
So you went to the party store and they gave you these for kids? Is that what happened? Or
I purchased them off Amazon, and it's just a random sticker pack. It's just 100 stickers, random.
Right.
And it's got all sorts of stuff in there, like cute cats, choose life, like all sorts of stickers. It is entirely random, but there were a number of things in there where I went, I am glad that I sorted through these stickers. But it was a lot. It was a big day. I was very tired. And
I'm laughing because you're talking and the gas is coming up as you sometimes do.
Yeah, exactly. The gas is coming up, but also I'm lamenting about what's going to happen. I don't know how I'm going to drink 6 liters, aka more than 2 gallons of slushie. I think and it pains me, but I think I'm going to have to waste it.
Why don't you start a Slurpee stand? Get all the kids together. It's summertime. Have them go out and sell it and teach them how to make a buck and a good business school.
That's actually a genius idea.
I didn't think genius, but okay, I'll go with
That's
it.
a great idea.
Yeah.
I'll set them up with a
Tell them you're going to cut them
stand.
in on the money. Give them a percentage. See how they work it out. That might be a good way to go.
They can have all the money.
Yeah, all
The
right.
slushie stand.
And then what you should do is save those other stickers for your Christmas party where you have the guy in the GIMP suit.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait for that.
Yeah.
That's great. Speaking of which, I got to feed the GIMP. Thank you for telling me. I fucking forgot.
Got to feed the GIMP.
Don't forget to water your GIMPs, people.
Take the ball out of his mouth, insert the tube, feed him. You know how it goes.
Change the diaper.
Yeah.
All the
Shut the hell away from me.
Oh, good news. The next show is going to be the Christina tapes. I've gone through and pulled all the good ones, and I have 8 minutes of Christina audio that we can go through for the next show. It's going to be wonderful.
I am so excited to see what happens in that show.
Did you see the text I sent you with all the Christina pictures, by the way?
No, I
Okay.
was in a public place
Okay.
and I was like, I don't know if I can open this video where I am right now.
Yeah.
And so I chose not to. I was surrounded by children at a baseball facility. And generally speaking, you're not sending me stuff that's too risque or weird.
Right.
But I also know you well enough
Could be.
to not open it
Yeah.
in public.
Well, I sent you 4 pictures of Christina from the video. It's really great. They are all safe, but just so you have an idea of who Christina is and what she looks like. And I bet her voice.
The tissues.
Yeah, that was when she thought her tissues were a phone. That's there. So she's one of those people that you hear her voice and you picture her, and I bet they're the same.
She's
So
one of
that
those
will
people.
be next show.
Have you ever been so drunk
Yes.
that you've made those depths of mistakes? I've never been so inebriated that I have made mistakes like that. Like, that I thought that a pack of tissues was my phone, or I don't know. You've been that maggot.
No,
before.
I haven't actually, now that I answer the whole question. I haven't been that hammered, and I don't know what her deal is. She's very out of it and very hostile and very weird anyway. Maybe that's it. It still doesn't make her not entertaining. She's very entertaining.
She is very entertaining. And I wonder if she knows that she's this famous. I know we think about that a lot, but where are you now, Christina?
I'd love to
Where
find
are
out
you
at least
now?
the city that she's in, because then I would track her down. And if we got her on the air, I wouldn't be mean to her. I would just say, hey, tell me about this. And I bet it would be the most entertaining thing ever. You'll think this, I'm saying all this and people aren't really getting it. Once you hear the audio of it, you'll get it.
You know what they say, Stu?
Yeah.
Never meet your heroes. I feel like if we were given the chance to meet her,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to.
I would, but I'd need to get her drunk first.
And then we'll talk about this again in a couple of days, okay?
Alrighty, this has been a show. Enjoy it. Something.
Bye!
Okay, you know how this goes. Like us, subscribe, tell your friends, write a nice review, engage with us. We're Total Babble on Instagram, on Facebook, on Threads, and on Blue Sky. Email is show@totalbabble.com. The Total Babble Podcast.